finally found it. The house in Southlake or trophy club with the pool, the 3-car garage, and that kitchen island you've been dreaming about. There's just one problem. Your current house isn't even on the market yet. Most people feel stuck. It's like being in the fast lane on I-35 and hitting a dead stop. You can't move forward until the person in front of you moves, but in real estate, waiting to sell often means losing your dream home to a buyer who doesn't have a contingency. Let's bust a huge myth right now. Over 2/3 of people think you must have a 20% down payment to buy. If you're buying an $800,000 home, that's $160,000 in cash. A lot of folks have that money, but it's locked inside the walls of our current house. Today, I'm going to show you how to pick that lock. Some people have a savings account. They don't even know about it. It's called equity. If your home is worth $500,000 and you owe $300,000, you have $200,000 sitting there doing nothing. There are two ways to grab it. You can do a HELOC, a home equity line of credit. Think of this as a credit card attached to your house. You apply for it now while you still live there. You only pull out $50,000 or $100,000 you need for down payment on the new place. The best part, you only pay interest on what you use. The cash out refi is another way. This is a brand new primary loan. You replace your current mortgage with a bigger one and take the difference in a check. Here's a pro tip. Don't wait until you list your home to do this. Once your house is on MLS, a lot of banks they'll shut the door on doing any type of financing for that house that's now on the market. So you need to be proactive. Let's talk about a modern bridge loan and buy before you sell programs. In the old days, bridge loans were scary and expensive. Today, we have sophisticated buy before you sell programs. This is how it works. A third-party company essentially guarantees the sale of your current home or lends you the equity up front. This turns you into a non-contingent buyer. In a competitive market like DFW, a non-contingent offer is king. Imagine telling a seller, I don't need to sell my current home to buy yours. That's you winning the bidding war, the double move. Without this, you might have to move twice. Pack, move to a rental, wait for the house to close, pack again, move to the new house. I've been doing this for 25 years and I've seen that stress tear people apart. A bridge option lets you move once, settle in, and sell the old place at your leisure. A quick side note. This is about VA bonus entitlement. So this is kind of a veteran superpower. If you're a veteran, listen closely, because even the most seasoned lenders don't understand this math. Here's the secret. You can own multiple homes at once with zero down with a VA mortgage. People think you used up your VA benefit on the first house, but that's not true. The reality is we look at the conforming loan limit for the area for 2026. It's $832,750. So $832,750 is the loan limit in North Texas. So if you purchased a home for $300,000 a few years ago with a VA loan, that $832,750 limit, you would subtract out, that's the limit today, so you'd subtract out the $300,000, and now you've got $500,000 left in bonus entitlement that you can use. You can even go above that, you just have to put 25% down of the difference. So as long as you bought over $144,000 on the first loan, if it's still out there and you're not going to sell that property, you can buy another home with zero down. This is the single fastest way for military families to build a real estate portfolio. But what if you didn't sell the old house at all? What if you kept it as an investment? How does that work? Well, the 75% rule comes into effect. In the underwriting rule book, this is often how we look at future rent for your old house to wash out that payment or just offset the payment. If your old mortgage is $2,000 and you can rent it for $2,800, we take 75% of the rent, $2,100, and that debt zeroes out. Suddenly, the old debt disappears from your debt to income ratio. Now you qualify for the new mansion because the old house is paying for itself on paper. Now with jumbo loans, you're moving into million plus, the rules get tougher. Now we're talking about loan amounts. So if your loan amount's over that $832,750 limit, they want to see reserves. This means having 6 to 12 months, sometimes 24 months of PITI, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance for both houses. either sitting in a 401k or a savings account. And it sounds like a lot, but for most folks who've been saving into the retirement plan for a few years, we can use their retirement accounts to satisfy this without actually spending the money. It's something that we show, okay, you've got the money sitting in this investment vehicle. Another thing that you need to talk about if we're considering keeping our old home, buying the first one, is protecting your credit. How do we do that? Soft pulls and trigger leads are a hot topic. This is the most important part of the process. Most people are terrified to call a lender because they don't want their credit to get hit with an inquiry. Trigger lead, this is a nightmare. When you go to a big box bank, they pull your credit bureaus sell the information, and immediately you're getting hundreds of phone calls from everybody. Lenders, insurance companies, realtors. Your information just got sold to the black market pretty much. And it happens within minutes. Your phone's going to get immediately bombarded with phone calls. That's going to last for a few weeks, sometimes a month, and it's just a nightmare. So protect yourself, protect your credit. Go to the opt-out pre-screen website. I'll have that link in the description of the video. So here's my approach. I use a soft credit pull. It does not affect your credit, and it does not alert the bureaus, so no annoying calls. It gives me 100% of the data I need to pull to tell you exactly what we can do, how we need to structure things, and give you options. It gives you the opportunity to opt out, like I mentioned earlier. We get the green light first, and then I help you. It's optoutprescreen.com is the website, but you can block the vultures from calling you before we do the final hard pull for the actual mortgage. That happens once we're going into underwriting. We get the green light first, then I help you go to the website. You can block the vultures from calling you before we do the final hard pull for the actual mortgage before we go into underwriting. Moving should be about new beginnings, not logistical nightmares. You don't have to wait for a sold sign to start your next chapter. Whether it's a HELOC, a VA bonus entitlement, or turning your current home into a rental, my job is to find out how. I've spent 2.5 decades reading through rule books, so you don't have to. If you're sitting in a house right now feeling stuck, let's look at your numbers. There's no pressure, no hard credit pull, just a conversation about what are the possibilities, what makes sense, and let's figure out what works for you and your family. If you're self-employed, that's a whole other conversation. If you're self-employed and you've been doing it for at least a couple of years, you do have some options if you've got a really good CPA and your tax returns are structured. I'm Sean Bone. I'd love to help you get into the next house. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can be the first to know. Thank you for watching.